Welcome to episode number 34 of the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show. How are you, Cousin Donnie?
Good. Jimmy, how are you, man?
I'm doing well, my man. I'm doing well. You know, same old thing, different toilet, as you know.
Yeah, you typically say that when I call you or talk to you. That's really. Yeah, that's a typical answer from you that I get. That's good though.
Yeah.
How's everybody else doing? How's everybody in the comments? If you want to drop a comment quick to mention that you guys are here, we appreciate it as always on the Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie show. You mentioned it was episode 34, which is fantastic.
Sponsored by the Mr. Beacon Tap and Displays. So thank you so much, Mr. Tommy Reamer. We definitely appreciate all the support. I know that we've been getting a ton of support and awesome people reaching out to us over the course of the week. For many reasons, right? Guest, the famous dance that hit the airways last night, and our top 10 list.
Talk me through it. So let me explain the situation. Okay, so Jimmy and I play against each other again last week Wednesday, and we made a deal that Jimmy would post the dance on TikTok if Hex were to lose against Signature in 7 innings. Jimmy, do you want to mention the score?
Well, it was 9 innings, not 7.
Okay, do you want to mention the score through 7 or 9?
We did not have a good showing.
No.
You know, I mean, and then that's okay. I rather, it is what it is. But hey, I'm a man of my word.
You are. No one can lie about that.
I put the best, unbelievable video together in softball history
ever.
You know.
Do you want to do everybody a favor, Jim, and show that?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Let's fence that up. We'll get there.
Okay. All right. I want to say quickly before you get into anything, you truly are. You're a man of your word. I will say that. Everything that we've done so far, every punishment that we've done, you've been more than happy to do those.
And your time is coming.
I know. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
No. You should not be.
But it was great. You were like, which one should I do? And we sent you the one, and you did it.
Yeah.
So everybody that wants to see it and like it, you have to go over to Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie on TikTok and like the video. It almost has 1,000 views.
Yes, 100%. And we're going to give a little taste right now on the show for those watchers. But before we do that, all right, why don't we get into the chat and see who's out there right now?
Yeah, let me pull up the Facebook on mine. If you have the people in front of you, you can.
I do. I can start naming off. So Michael Carroll, welcome to the feed. Jackie Reed, welcome. Jonathan Olvan, welcome. Mr. Moji, Mike Morosevich, welcome, sir. Haven't heard that name in a while. Mr. Rich Acevis, welcome to the show. Maria Gata, Mr. Wags, who Wags might be in the top 10 list later tonight, or per se top 15 of Rapid Fire.
Special show.
So, Mr. Mark Manizzi, welcome to the show. So, before we get to there, and I know you're pulling on Facebook now, but tell me what you could see on your end. I saw that Jack just joined as well. So you mentioned Mark Manizzi jumped on the show. He was an advocate for me bugging you to do the dance and post it on. Really?
Facebook. I mean, he was like, "Where's the dance? Where's the dance at? I can't wait to see this dance." So once you posted it, it was in the Signature group chat. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I bet it was.
You were the highlight of the Signature group chat again.
I should. So, Jeremy Lafrano, welcome to the feed. Mr. Jake Reynolds, welcome. Jake, we're doing a ton of support for you guys. We're promoting the hell out of that Iowa tournament. Was told yesterday that Kansas City might actually have 2 teams now, which is awesome, right? So it's incredible. But before we even get into all that, for the fans, let's show the dance that
yes.
Uncle Jimmy had to do.
Mark said great moves for a white guy.
Yeah. So let me get after it. So in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Merrily we fall out of line, out of line. I'd fall anywhere with you.
We can rewind that.
This is so good.
Merrily we fall out of line, out of line. I'd fall anywhere with you. I'm by your
We'll replay it one more time just to make sure everyone can see it.
I love the guitar. The guitar at the end is so good. Oh. Now, for those of you who don't know, that's a popular dance right now on TikTok. Like, you've got 12-year-old girls doing that, and then you've got Jimmy Moretti. That's hot. That's hot, man. Jake Majerus said, "Can I get a live performance?"
Yeah, it's incredible. So
how many takes?
Huh?
How many takes?
I did it one take. I watched the video like, I'm not gonna lie, like 20 times to remember like the moves.
Yeah.
And it was literally one take, and I was done. I was done in like 15 seconds, 20 seconds. So one take and done. It was awesome.
Well done, sir. Well done.
My little guy Jackson, he was laughing at the video. My wife was laughing this morning.
I'm sure Auntie Jenny had a field day laughing at that.
Oh God, yeah, it was awesome. So,
well, I have to commend you. Quick shout to Bobby Russ and Ryan Russ for joining us today on the show. We appreciate those guys a lot. If you're familiar with softball, you know the Russ family and how important they are to the game. And then we'll have Wess, Shannon on for a few minutes after those guys. Just kind of, moving through some of the current superstars and past superstars with Bobby Russ, and he's been around the game for a long time.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about tonight. I was fortunate enough I got to play with Bobby for a couple years there towards the end of his playing career, kind of, and it was awesome, to learn from kind of some of the best. I mean, he played on Lettuce. He's played on some big time, teams, obviously Flash, Max, some things like that over the course of time. So, it was awesome to not only play, but also hang out with those guys, in my early 20s. I'm sure he'll probably bring up some of those awesome things that we did together over time. So,
yeah,
that being said, let's hope that they show up tonight to the show.
I was gonna say they're not in the waiting room yet, so
no, they're not.
We're not entirely sure if they will show up. If they don't, that's fine. We'll fix something else out. Who do we got for the Super Bowl, Jim? The Super Bowl's on Sunday. There's a lot of press this week. Patrick Mahomes is getting points in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, everyone's been asking me kind of this question, and I'm just sending them the link right now, so I apologize. Everyone's been asking me, and I don't understand the line. Why is the line where it's at? And really, when you think about it, I don't get it either, right? I mean, you have basically you have a team that Kansas City is a better coach, a better quarterback, a better defense.
Yeah.
And somehow they're dog. I don't get it. I mean,
they think the difference going to go nuts.
I maybe, right? I guess. I mean, how could they even say that? Like, I don't even get that, right? I mean, that's, to me, it's kind of pointless, because if you really think about it, Kittle kind of washes out Kelsey or vice versa, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
player. I mean, and
Bryce there's a couple. Yeah, Rashid's good.
Great. So
Rashid's been playing good. I mean, you do have two dynamic wide receivers for the 49ers, and Ayuk and Debo, but
right.
I'll tell you that I can't imagine a world where Patrick Mahomes gets points in the Super Bowl with the coaching staff and with the defense that he has. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, you got to bet the better quarterback in my eyes, but who knows? I mean,
Always, yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
So,
Especially, I mean, in the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm curious. It's gonna be a good game. Hopefully, it's just close. We don't want any blowouts.
right. So, I know Bobby and
The boys are here.
Ryan. They're both in the chat. I know they'll both have a lot to say about the Super Bowl. I'm sure. But what are you most excited about with Bobby and Ryan? I know you probably know Ryan more than Bobby.
Yeah,
But
no, I know them both pretty well. William's actually good friends with my younger brother, so I get a chance to see Ryan and Bob a little bit more. Just two stellar humans. Ryan, in my opinion, one of the best defensive players in softball, one of the best I've ever seen. So, get a chance to talk to him and how important softball is to him in his life. I mean, he's probably never been exposed to anything so much other than softball, right? So, and then Bobby with all the teams and stuff that he's been on, and he's a great guy, and we look forward to talking to him too.
Yep. So right before we bring them on here in a second, I just want to drop in the chat. We got Steve Burkus, Tom Higgins is on. My neighbor Jim Malone, welcome guys. PJ Raines, welcome. Nicholas Kimmer, welcome. Hey, maybe Kimmer will show up for me on a Wednesday night, so I don't do any more dances, huh? But
yeah.
But that being said, let's get over to the Russ family. Let's get them on board here. So I'm going to bring them in now. Hopefully, Bobby needs to adjust his camera a little bit.
Hi, Ryan.
What's going on, Don? Hold on, I might need to help him out there.
Is there a way you can do all four next to each other, Jim?
Let me play with it. There's Bobby right there.
There it is.
There he goes.
A little help from Ryan.
Brad Pitt.
Hot start.
So, guys, welcome. I know that you guys the family's been a huge part of softball for a long time. But before we kind of get into that part, I think the biggest part here for us is really talking about where, Bobby, how you started in softball, because we'll just start with you. I know it's, you've been around the game for a long time, and obviously you've got all your kids now involved in softball. Even Will, who's the star pitcher of the Rats for fall ball, right, Ryan?
Yeah, so, he's a star.
So that being said, I think it's awesome to see that the whole entire family's a part of it, right? So let me see if I can get us, Donnie. You think there's a better way here?
You go I think you go vertically with it.
Yeah.
We want to see as much Ryan as we can.
I'll try.
Right. So,
we want to see as much of the hammer as we possibly can.
That's not it.
But go ahead, Bobby. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us how you got started. Tell us some of the teams you played for, how you got into major ball. Just give a little background to some of the audience. I mean, obviously, most people in softball know you, but we do have a lot of 12-inch guys following us now. We do have a lot of other avenues outside of 16-inch softball that have watched the show. So give us a little background about yourself, Bobby.
So I grew up watching my father play, and he played on some of the top teams in softball in his playing day. And he would cart me and my brother around to a lot of parks on the north side of Chicago, Portage Park, Clarendon Park, and Hermosa, Sayre, where all the big leagues were at. And, we were in high school, and we were, got into college. And then we wanted to start playing. And actually, when the first team I played on a little bit was a team on the Northwest Side, Warren Johnson and the Levy. And it had Hall of Famers Willie Simpson, Tom Zarnick, Warren Johnson, and El Check, and myself, my brother, and some neighborhood guys, and we just went from there in that. But and then I played for another team with Elmer Hensel out of Kosciuszko Park, and then went and finished our baseball, and then when we came back, started playing got into A ball with Pat Caputo and my dad, and we merged with the Michael Spadali and Jimmy Spadali with the Stooges, and that was around the late 80s, 88, 87, 88 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And that, so we're with the Stooges for a couple of years, and then we branched off, and Pat Matriciano, my dad, we started the ice team, and then I was with them for a couple years, and then I was lucky enough to be asked to play for Rich Melman in the Let Us Entertain You team. I went to that team in 1993, and then the Lettuce team turned into the Licorice team. And then when Mike backed out, when he was done and didn't want to do it no more, we became Sage for 1 or 2 years, and we hooked up with your boy Philly LaGilia, and we had I think we were Maxim, and had a couple of years there, and then I've been with the Flash ever since.
So
that was my run.
Yeah, so a couple things that stood out for me. I know in the 90s, your brother Randy is obviously one of the better players to ever play the game. We all know that, and how he is offensively. But one thing that stood out to me, and I kind of did my homework on this a little bit, so if I say it wrong, I apologize. You played for Lettuce. Your brother played for Primetime. Your dad, I believe, coached Primetime.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. How, like, not only those battles, because those two teams were neck and neck at each other pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Why were you on the opposite side and your dad and your brother on the other side?
So Randy we both got asked to play with I don't know if it was Primetime or Splinters and that, but at the time they had Wally Filkins on the team, and they said you could play, but you're going to split time with Wally. And I was like, whatever, 21, 22 years old or whatever. I just wanted to play every night. I just wanted to play, and I stuck around with Pat. Randy went, and he was in the outfield with Larry Downs, I think Joe Dooley, and they had a dynamite team. And I stuck back a year, and I played with Pat. We won the A Nationals in Indianapolis.
Right.
And then the next year I got asked to play by Rich, and then us in Primetime, we were two of the better teams, and we battled all the time.
Yeah, no,
a little weird going up against your brother and your dad.
I mean, I know I had the privilege because Senior obviously ran our teams when I was with Maxim in those years with the Flash early on. I can only imagine what Senior was saying to you on the other side, your dad.
Oh, he was giving it to me pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
So Ryan, I don't want to keep you there because I know your dad. I have a lot to ask your dad tonight, but how did you get involved with softball?
Well,
because you're kind of new, the newer age, So
right, yeah. Well, obviously, watching my dad and my uncle when I was a kid.
Right.
We would go to Forest Park, the Glove Nationals, wherever that was, and then from there, kind of just fell in love with it. So, yeah, just kind of at an early age, I want to say it was I don't know, 2 or 3. I started going to my first tournaments and stuff like that. So, right around 2 or 3, I started going to the games. So early.
Yeah. So your first team, I believe, was Traffic.
Yeah. So I first started when I was playing 18. Just a park league team right in the back of Ditka's, actually in Oak Brook, for a team called Base Bums, who now basically is Menace. And then from there, the next year, I want to say I went to Traffic with Nicky Gatta, and then I played a year there, and then I've been on Flashback ever since.
Before I hand it over to Donnie, I wanted to say this. Traffic must be like the rookie league for the Russ family. It feels like everyone in the Russ family starts with Traffic and they work their way up, huh? And Traffic was a phenomenal team. I mean, it's still Nicky's still keeping that thing together, and he's building young, and I love what he's doing. But I find that funny. I think now your younger brother or middle brother, one of them, is with Traffic currently, right?
Yeah, Brendan's going to play with Traffic this year. Breaking news. And
rumor mill.
Yeah, and then it's basically
awesome.
Yeah,
Jimmy, those Traffic guys. I went to school with a lot of them. Dean Pritt, Nick Gatta, Billy Bledsoe. Those guys had a great run. They finished. They did well in the Grant Park tournament. They had a great run, a lot of years out at Mount Prospect, and they didn't care who they played. They just come out and played. They didn't care who they played, and they were very competitive, and they still are. He's retooling with some younger guys because his older guys aren't around that much anymore. They have whatever, but hats off to those guys, Nicky and Dean Pritt and Billy and them guys. They got a great run,
For sure.
Yeah, we came up against them when I was with Iron last year. We played them in A Glove Nationals, and they beat us, and they came out with a nice team. They had Chris Rieger out there, and then the other Russ brother hit a home run over our center fielder's head, and I said he'll be on Flash in 24 hours. So I figured that would be his
Donnie,
last
did you
game.
pitch?
No, I was playing first, so it wasn't on me. Trust me, I would know. So Ryan, my first question is kind of going from that traffic team, making the jump to Flash. What's that transition like for you in that first year? Were you struggling a little bit, and was Dad on you, or what was kind of the motivation there?
Yeah. When I first got on Flash, I didn't really struggle too much defensively, but offensively, it's definitely struggled. I was a lot skinnier, smaller, so it was kind of hard to hit the ball, anywhere with power for me. But my dad was easy on me, believe it or not, the first year.
I don't believe that at all.
Yeah, just because he knew that it was going to be, kind of a jump, not a jump, but it's going to be a little different. And that was kind of the transition. Kind of as the season went on, kind of eased into it. But yeah, definitely to start, it was tough.
For sure. Bobby, what's that like, seeing your son maybe struggle a little bit hitting? What are we telling him? Is it a long car ride home after he goes 0-for-3? Or what's the interaction like on the way home after that?
My only advice to him would be, and I think if you asked Israel, he would probably say the same thing, having Anthony on his, just to be aggressive. Ryan got into problems when he was taking strikes because he always seemed like he was 0-2, 1-2, and then the field shrinks on you. The right fielder's off the line, the left fielder's off the line, the third baseman's off the line, and where are you going to hit the ball? The field shrinks on you, and now you're thinking. He did okay when he was, swinging early in the count and, going either cutting the ball or driving the ball somewhere. That's where he found his success. And I think Israel would probably tell you the same thing that he probably told Anthony when he may have been struggling in that his first couple of years in that. So it's hard because, you don't want to tell the person how to bat, but you're just trying to give them advice. And when you see the same thing over and over, it's tough. That's all.
Yeah.
So who the fuck are you kidding? Because how many times have you motherfucked him throughout the course of a year? Don't lie to me, Wess.
That might have been you to me, not him.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So, but that kind of leads me into what we're talking about. Flash. We're talking about the year. What is the 2024, outlook on Flash? I know you guys. I believe you picked up Mike Manzella. How does he fit into the realm? I know you guys have probably 15 starters, if off the top of my head. It's obviously time over there is going to shrink down, especially in the EH spot and catcher spot. Just curious to see what your guys' thoughts are on the team coming up. You guys obviously coming off a Forest Park, win and in pretty much dramatic fashion. I believe 1-0 final. So tell us what's your thoughts. I don't care who wants to kick it off, but tell us what your opinion is on that.
I think we're going to be strong. We have a couple great pickups. We got Mikey Manzella coming to our team, and he's definitely gonna be a big bat for us, and very, very vocal so far when we've met. We picked up Stefan. Jimmy, I'm sure you're familiar with Stefan. Seen him play. He's hurt us in the past. Nice hitter. You can use him in the infield and in the outfield. Nice versatile player. He's going to see a lot of playing time. and we got Ralphie Lawrence back. Not exactly sure what Ralphie's role is going to be this year with his son playing baseball at Illinois State and running around with his daughters a little bit. But Ralphie did say he's going to come back out for us, and we're going to be strong. Getting everyone playing time is going to be is always a battle. But we got some guys on our team recently married. Some of them are starting families. Some of them are having their second, third child. So the attendance might allow us to get everyone in and help us out a little bit.
Did you guys pick up a left fielder by any chance?
No.
All right, Ryan, tell it. What's your thought on this upcoming year? What are you most excited about? What's on your mind? Be honest with us.
Yeah, so picking up Mikey Manns is a big pickup just because that's a big power hitter, and wherever you want to bat him, 3, 4, 5, just big to have a nice home run bat whenever you need it. Stefan is, he's, an unbelievable hitter as well. So, you pick up 2 big hitters. Stefan can literally, bat 2 through, 8 or 9. He's a big hitter to pick 2 as well. He could play anywhere. But those were basically the 2 big pickups we had this year. And then just for the upcoming season, I think it's just, obviously every team is, looking at the 5 big tournaments, competing in them and hopefully, winning. And then obviously no glove nationals, and winning those tournaments. So obviously those are our goals. And that's where, I think all of our heads are at.
Yeah, no, great points. Before I respond to that, I want to just get in the chat really quick. So we've had a ton of people hop on, and I want to say, thanks for all the support. Our show is sponsored by the Beacon Tap, so thank you so much, Mr. Tom Reamer and group out there. But I want to say hello to Steve Rodriguez, Dean Pritt, Christopher Jordan, Drew Severia, Anthony Robles, Marty Dozen, Ace Rogers, Enrique Munez, Mr. Jackson Perry himself, Rod Bailey.
Jack has a good question.
Kyle. Huh?
Jack has a good question in the chat for Ryan Russ.
Chris Johnson and Mr. Smokey, Michael Kruger. So welcome to the show, guys. Just want to jump in there. But go ahead, Donnie, read his comment there before I respond.
He says, Ryan Russ, how's the floor hockey season going?
We're 2-3 this year. We had a big loss. We kind of got slaughtered. Short guys, but we had a 2-game win streak that came to a close. But when we got all of our guys there, we're tough to beat.
Yeah, that sounds like every other game that you say you've played.
Yeah.
So
we'll be ready.
Yeah.
So that leads me to my question, because I think people, let's face it, I compete against you guys all summer long. Donnie's going to be new to the realm. He's going to be competing against you guys all summer long too at the top level. So my thing is with the mound. Are you guys looking to put Zoe more on the mound now in the future with some of these guys? You guys can maybe throw somebody else at first base. I know Moji was very successful for you guys last year, had an incredible year. But Moji's another year older, as you guys are aware, and I'm just curious to see, what's the thought process on the hill. I know Jibbs kind of took a huge step back last year. I didn't really see him pitch too much, and when he did, it was spotty. So just kind of wanted to find out what's going on there with you guys.
I think a lot of it's matchups with our team. We got the 3 pitchers, and they all have their teams that they match up well against, and that so Jibbs goes with the hot hand a lot too in tournaments, and someone gets in trouble, and having where you're able to hit for the pitcher, and that having those guys on the roster, whoever's hot batting, that's how we utilize all that stuff. So we really we really haven't got into who's going to have the ball the most. You're probably right. I think Zoe and Moji probably pitched the majority of our games last year. Jibbs might have pitched 15, and I bet you Moji and Zoe probably pitched 30 apiece if I had to guess. And I don't know how that's going to shake out this year, but I know Jibs is about matchups a lot and going with the hot hand.
Sure.
Question.
Ryan, who do you? I mean, I know you don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but what's your thought process in regards to who's on the hill for you guys, or it doesn't really matter? Like, I know there's certain defenders who like certain guys on the hill, and it's a mindset thing, right? So, I mean, are you very comfortable with all three guys? I mean, what's your thought process?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't really care. I mean, I don't. It's not like I don't care, but all three of them do such a good job at, communicating where to go. Line. Hey, I'm going to pitch him outside. I'm going to pitch him inside. So honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. It's kind of, just go out there and play. But all three of them are, studs. Jibs is going to be a Hall of Famer. Moj is probably going to be a Hall of Famer, and then Zoe's, on track to be, right up there, Hall of Fame. So it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't, worry about who's going to be on the mound. So, because I know whoever's going to be on the mound is probably going to do their job and get the job done.
Yep, no, for sure. Go ahead, Donnie.
My question. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there, Jim. My question was, Bobby, with such a large team and everybody that's really good, how do we keep everyone sort of happy when the full team is there? Are you just kind of putting it out there like we're going to put our best team forward and you work your way in, or what are you saying to the guys?
Yeah, that's kind of how it happens, Don. The only time it really comes into play with us is Forest Park, and that's basically it. It seems like the last couple of years, whether it's north south or Chicagoland, we're missing an outfielder, we're missing an infielder, or a guy could come in in the morning, but he's got to leave and someone else has got we always have guys coming and going, so it just works itself out. The only time it really comes into play where we have a full team is Friday night at Forest Park, and there's probably 7 other teams that feel the same way and have that problem.
Yep. Ryan, what is your mentality? Kind of watching your dad go through the motions and have to make those decisions. Are you influential at all, or do you kind of let him take the reins on it?
No, I don't say one word.
Yeah.
I don't say one word. I let them, do what they have to do. I just, wherever they tell me to play, I'll just go out there, and that's about it. I just keep my mouth shut basically for the most part and don't say a word.
And Donnie and Jimmy, Jibs 100%.
Yeah.
Jibs does the lineup. He bounces stuff off of JP with the batting order and that, but he'll ask me something during the day. If we got everybody here, what do you think? But Jibs has the control. I think he leans on Shane Lawler a little bit about some stuff, just bounce some ideas off, but he makes the lineup in pretty much the batting order and all the substitutions and that. Now he confers with us and that, but it's basically his show.
Right.
So just so you know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Heard. I was giving you some extra credit because you're here with us. Once you get off the show, we'll talk however we want. Yeah.
But so it's funny because we have a chat. We had a guest actually write something. I thought that was Wags talking, not Junior.
Chuck, is that your buddy Chuck?
No, that's Mr. Eckey, John Eckey.
Oh boy.
So you might want to have a little talk with Mr. Eckey over there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take care of that.
So all right, guys. So let's have some fun here. Some of the names that I put together in rapid fire for those that maybe for those that haven't watched the show, what we do is we list the guy's name, and then each of you want you guys to give me a quick, either one word or a quick little sentence about each guy of what comes to mind.
Okay.
So because there's 2 of you, I've got 15. Usually I do a top 10 list. Obviously, Ryan, you're going to know the ones that are for you. There's a couple of them on here that are for both of you, but some of them are mostly are more for your father as well, just because he's played a little longer and some of the older guys. So, but I've got a good split. I would say a good 7 and 7. So I'm going to start at number 15, and I'm going to say Mr. Eggs.
Well, Eggs was the fiercest competitor I ever played with. He came. He was all business. He didn't want to socialize till the game was over, and one of the best of all time. That era had a lot of great pitchers, and
Yeah.
he was right up there. You'd want him on your team. I'll tell you that.
So for the people that don't know, why don't you, Bobby, give a little background on him and who he was and what he did? Because I know he was pretty famous in softball, right? I mean, they run an A national tournament after him. So
yeah, Tom came up and he was on all the Northside powerhouse teams with Bud North and the Runts and that. I think he's one of two players, maybe Keith Filkins, that won an MVP on the losing team in the Nationals. I'm not sure. I know Eggs did it. I'm not sure if Keith did it, but I thought somebody told me that. And he was just a fierce competitor and great friend. And he was a hell of a player, leader on the field. Then when his playing days were over, he became he coached a little bit with some of the licorice teams, and I think he helped out with some of the splinter stuff, and then unfortunately he passed away a little while ago, and I know his brother Ray, they run the Exarnic tournament once a year, which is fantastic.
Yep. Something that you'll be umpiring in this year is what I've been told.
I think I usually go out there for that one if I'm
absolutely.
Yeah.
So number 14, Dave Bishop.
He threw two of the all-time greats at me back to back.
Yeah.
I had the privilege of playing against Dave when he was with Bucks and Pugliese and all that, and then he was a great teammate of mine on the lettuce teams and that. What another guy, just great competitor, great pitcher, and great friend off the field, and he was a pleasure being a teammate of his.
Yeah, I got lucky enough to play with Dave. I played with him in some of the Southside Park tournaments and things like that towards the end of his day.
Yeah.
But awesome dude, hysterical.
Yeah.
And to your point, still a hell of a pitcher, even at his older age. So,
Ryan, underrated hitter, got a lot of hits.
Yeah. I believe it 100%. So, Ryan, I got one for you, Mr. Richie Arrico, number 13.
Oh my gosh, Richie Arrico. I got a quick story. So me and my dad and Richie, we went over to we had a Marshalltown tournament maybe 2 years ago, and me and Richie something got screwed up with our hotel room, so we had to stay with my dad, and I think William might have been there. My dad and Richie Arrico are the two loudest snorers you'll ever hear in your life. Let me get that started. 2, I was up maybe 3:30, 4 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I go to the hotel desk. I bought a hotel room at 4 in the morning so I could sleep for 2 hours.
That's hysterical.
That's how bad it was. But Richie Arrico, unbelievable guy. He's running his own co-ed team, and a part of Circus. And I'll tell you one thing: the guy still hits that cut. He can still do it, and it still finds the outfield no matter where.
Still out there, yeah. No,
And
Richie's a good dude and does an extremely well job with Melrose.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, he does.
Keeping those fields.
Unbelievable groundskeeper too.
Yep. So before we get to the next question, Donnie, did you see the question in the chat?
Yeah. John Felduto says, "I hear the best athlete in the family is Lucy." Bobby, any comments on that?
Yeah, she's pretty good, and that's she actually just committed to Wisconsin Parkside. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but
you broke the news here.
I'm sure that's why John teed it up for me. But thank you, John. His John's daughter is going to be playing at Penn State. She's a stud, also.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's big time.
All American.
Very good.
Congrats to the most athletic person in the house, for sure.
Yeah.
2 breaking news.
Yeah. All right, number 12, Mr. Timmy Kornikowski, who I'm sure he made a comment at some point tonight asking where Will is, his buddy.
He did.
Yeah, he shot me a text today. Where do I start? He's He's just definitely an interesting guy. The first time I met him, we were driving to Yuma, Arizona together. Never said a word to him, in my life. Jump in the car, drive 2.5 hours, talk the whole entire 2.5 hours. He's just one of those guys. He likes to bust balls. He likes to have fun. He was the guy, everyone calls me Hammer around. He was the guy who came up with a nickname.
Yeah.
So if anyone's wondering who came up with the nickname, it was Timmy. And yeah, it was a good time. But he's an unbelievable player too. Still, got great hands. His arm's a little shaky now,
Yeah.
but no, I'm kidding. But yeah, he's his bat's always been there, But yeah, unbelievable player.
Perfect. No.
Good friend.
Number 11, Bobby. This is more for you, probably Bob Rasha.
Bob Rasha, a lot of respect for Bob. He early on he's had that 45 team for a long time, and they weren't a lot of people don't know they weren't the 45s that everyone knows now in that, but he stuck with it. He stuck with his guys. He's built a great team for 30 years, and now Israel and Ricky took it over. A lot of guys helped him out, and I know it's more Israel's show now in that, but a lot of respect for Bob. He's done a great job and helped a lot of people out in this game on and off the field.
Yep. Number 10 is a guy who was mentioned in the comments, Wags. I was fortunate to play Wags, but go ahead.
Yeah, Wags is fantastic. He lives and dies 16-inch softball. He's in his place now, probably watching, and he just calls me every day or every inning. My phone's beeping. What's going on? They're not updating the scores, and he just loves the Flash team, but he also he just loves being with Jerry Brown and all the guys at the park and Mike Carroll and guys like that, just talking softball all night.
100%. Number 9, Justin, your center fielder currently. So Ryan, we'll start with you on that.
Yeah, he's me and Justin get along real well, ever since he joined the team, but definitely a goofball, kind of like me. He's got all, everyone's seen it in the softball world. He's got, the best, if some of the best talent you'll see, around the game. He can hit the ball wherever he wants, go get the ball, and he's just, a good person to be around, always positive. And yeah, just
I believe that's his dad there in the comments. He calls you out, Ryan. He says best left fielder in 2023.
Steve's the best. He's one of my guys. He always has my back. I love Steve and Justin.
And then Scotty said, "What's the most hot dogs you've ever seen Wags eat in one sitting?"
13 at Portillo.
How about the whole pizza he took down in Iowa when we were at Max? Remember that?
Yes,
that was one of the greatest stories ever.
That was now he lost 100 pounds, so he's not that big, but he's had some moments.
I just remember we were all at the bar and we're hanging out and we order a pizza. We're like, Wags, oh, you ordered everyone, one for everyone? He goes, no, that one's for me. Why don't you guys order one? I think
he smashed his elbow right on the thing.
And I think Randy was like, or Nicky Marchese was like, you're fucking kidding me, right? Brand's like, nope.
Yeah.
Because remember that bar in Iowa had really good pizza?
Yeah, the hotel bar, I think.
The hotel bar. And we used to go there all the time. We're like, man, this pizza's awesome.
Like, yeah.
So, and now it's like some Mexican place. I don't know if you've been there.
Yeah, we were there in that. Yeah, they changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, they changed it up. So, all right, number 8, Jeff Berger.
Wow, another great player. Respect Jeff a lot. Leader on the field, hits, defends. He brings it. Whatever he says, he backs it up, and just a lot of butted heads with Jeff and his teams for a number of years. And great player. Got to know Jeff. Pretty good friends now, and nothing but respect for Jeff Berger.
Yep. So here's one for both of you, because I think you guys both been around this man for a while. Number 7, Pat Caputo. Well,
I'll go first, Ryan. Pat Caputo is like family to me. I came up in this game at an early age, and Pat and my dad ran the team, so I've been around Pat for almost 40 years, and just super tight, best friends, and wish him nothing but the best coming up with his health and that. So he'll be around. He'll fight through it, and he'll be there.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, what about you, Rye?
Yeah, for me, Pat's like, I look at him like an uncle to me. He's just always, softball wise, or what, just, going somewhere to get something to eat. He was basically best friends with my grandpa, hangs out, with our family the whole, all the time.
Yep.
And the stories he tells too, it's always a blast. And hopefully, he's gonna keep fighting and get better. So yeah,
absolutely. So, number 6, Mr.
Jibbers.
Yep.
50, 58, 59 years old. I don't know if he missed the game last year, and he comes to play. He gets himself ready, and he's got to run the team. We talk every day in the morning. He gets the phone calls at 2:00. I can't make it tonight, and then somehow he doesn't piss and moan about it. He gets our team ready to play. The team feeds off of him. He's a great leader, and if you ask 20 guys, they'd all tell you the same thing. Hell of a player, future Hall of Famer, and that's not coming only for me. I think if you ask 20 guys on Flash, they'd all tell you that. They die for that guy.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you want to add anything about Jibbs?
Yeah, he's one of the most laid back persons, to be around. You never really see him angry off the softball field. Not on the softball field, he won't get angry, but he's just, one of the fiercest competitors I've ever been around. He'll do anything to win, and he loves winning, and that's why I love playing for Flash. Just and he's also a Hall of Fame pitcher. To add to that. And he's been doing it for ages, one of the best pitchers, today and for the last 20 years.
So I'm going to stay right on the Flash bandwagon here. Number 5, Anthony Tyler.
Anthony Tyler, I just found out that his name was put on the ballot, deservingly so. Hall of Fame player, big time hitter, great fielder, just great teammate. Another guy wasn't a big rah-rah guy, but when he said something, the team, his point got across, and he listened. Anthony fell into what we all do. The kids are at their age now where he's got sons and daughters playing sports, so he's backed off a little bit. He still comes around at bigger tournaments, but another guy, clutch as can be, and a great friend and a great teammate.
And he's always right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have one for. Well, do you want to add anything, Ryan? I know you know.
Yeah, Anthony's been around the team forever. I kind of caught him playing later, but Hall of Fame player. When he was playing second base, he was unbelievable. Could hit the ball anywhere he wants to. But yeah, he's a great guy. He'll tell you, he could hit a golf ball 400, yards or wherever, but he could come close to it. Yeah, there's not too many people who can hit a golf ball like him, but yeah, he's a good guy.
I'm laughing right now. I don't mean to be, but Marchese just put in the chat more than one pizza. Fucking Marchese, dude.
That's your guy.
I love Marchese. He's one of the best. You know that. He was always my guy. Since we're on the chat with Marchese, Nick Marchese, what do you guys think of him? I know Ryan. He's another guy that and have seen growing up. And Bobby, what's a one sentence that you could say about that man?
If I'm playing in a game with Nick Marchese, I hope he's on my team. I'll take Nicky Marchese on my team any day of the week.
Center field in his day, boy. Whew.
Yeah. Rocket arm. He can go get it with anybody. and that he's just he's a competitor. He comes to the park, he wants to play, and those are the guys I want to be on the field with.
Yep. So, Ryan, you got anything you want to add for him?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I remember him having a rocket arm, and I've never seen a ball rise when someone threw it in my life. And then Nicky's, obviously when he throws it from center field, it just kept going and rising, and I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, great player.
So number 4, Jake Olson.
Jaker, my opinion, if he would have filled out his resume, another guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Great friend, great hitter, great teammate. I mean, leadoff man. Played against them, and he killed us when he was with Punch and Pugliese and 45s and that. And then when you're with them, he's got that weird that flip shot, Richie Ladewig flip shot in the right field, and it's just he's tough. He can do it all, and I hope he has his day real soon. He's got spending a lot of time with his kids now, and that. So I'm real happy for him, and I hope he gets put on that ballot real soon too. And we thank him a lot. He's a nice sponsor for our Flash team, and the Flash team appreciates everything he does for us.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, and he's an incredible dude. I've got to play with him back in the day, and he's the only guy I know that drove 5.5 hours, hung out at the bar for an hour, got back in a car, drove 5.5 hours.
Yeah, over a pool game
for another time. But
one of the best stone cold hitters I've ever seen play softball. Stone cold hitter.
I agree with that. So I have to have him on the list.
You said it.
Number 3, my boy Gio.
My boy. Well, I know this is probably going to raise a lot of eyebrows and that. I don't know if there's anyone who's done more, puts more time in the last 15 years than Gio. He does a lot of good for the game of softball. Anyone that played for him on Mudville, and if he does a broadcast, he'll tell you who's played for Mudville. So Lord knows everyone who played for him. But the time this guy puts to do stuff, is he stubborn in some stuff? Yeah, in that Donnie, I don't know all the details with the drama with you and Gio. I know a little bit of it, and I know there's some drama with Gio and the ASA. I don't know all of that, but I know the guy gives a lot of his time, and he ain't making a penny off of softball. And
no,
I think he does a lot of good for the game.
Mm-hmm. And that's fact too. He doesn't make a penny off it. We've always said this, that he's probably the only guy that would drive park to park to film games. We know that, right?
Yeah.
So there's no one else out there that would do that.
Yeah.
So anything you want to say on Gio, Ryan?
Real quick, yeah. I don't really keep up with all the too much softball drama, to be completely honest with you. But he's definitely changed the game, that's for sure. For the good, with all the live streams and everything like that. So I've always been a fan of him, and stuff like that. But I will say one thing. I did play one game for Mudville, and he still had out on any of the live streams. So I have to say, at least, Ryan Russ did play for Mudville. And
so now it's all public. It's publicly known now.
I hope you and Gio work your work that stuff out. And I know I'm not the only one that hopes that too. I know, talking to a lot of the guys and that they hope that gets resolved in that. So yeah, let's get past the nonsense and let's look to the 2024 season.
Yeah, I would like nothing more for the next softball year, especially with playing at the major level consistently now and getting to know all the guys. I mean, I played Flash twice last year. One of the times I didn't make it out of the first inning as a pitcher, you guys scored 12 runs on me. So Zoe lets me hear that a lot. And the second time we actually played you guys pretty competitively. I think we lost by 1 run or 2 runs in the last inning. So looking forward to playing that team. And I had a hell of a time broadcasting those games during Forest Park. It was the best. I thoroughly enjoyed watching you guys play. So that was fun.
So that leads me into number 2. Number 2, I think, is probably going to go down probably one of the greatest players to ever play the game, Keith Filkins.
Yeah. There ain't a thing on the field that guy can't do. And I think Ron Kubicki says it best. He may have an All-American at every infield position in softball. I thought I've heard Ron say that before. I mean that he makes plays and super talented and you can't say enough about the guy. He's probably the best player of his time, and that he's fantastic.
I might have shared this on a previous show. I'm not really sure, but Bob, you probably remember this. We were at Hotchkiss. We were winning 1-0, and they got 2 runs, I think, in the top of the 6th, or was it bottom of the 6th, whatever it was. And we were losing, and I forget. We were like, God damn it. Like, we needed someone to pitch hit or whatever. And Filkins come walking over in his gym shoes in the 7th inning, and he hit a home run.
Yeah.
On the first pitch he saw over the fence, a 2-run homer to win the game.
Yeah.
I think we won 2-0 or 2-1 or 3-2, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, looked at you and I think Ralphie, and I'm like, did he just hit a home run over the fence? He didn't take no warm-ups, gym shoes.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
So that was my first encounter. And then from that point on, he played with us the rest of that year because I think he had the falling out or whatever he had, or he wasn't around, he wasn't on a roster until that point.
Yeah. I know he bounced around a little bit, and then he was with Flash before I was there. Then I played with him a couple years, and Keith, you got to go all. When he was young, he was he was a whip. He was he played with all the big lettuce. He's played with everybody in that, so deservingly so.
Yeah, 100%. So number 1 is basically true to both your hearts. I love this man. Rest in peace, your father, Mr. Bobby Sr.
Yeah.
So give me, when people ask me how it was to play for him, I always said I was lucky enough because of the fact that it was like the last year I was with Flash or Maxim, whatever we were called at the time. And he was just, to the point, he was just a motherfucker, but you just loved him because of the fact that when he yelled at you, that means he liked you.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about your father, because of the fact that he was a motherfucker. And I'll tell you, he was incredible though, and by the end of the year, I thought I became one of his one of his favorites, because he was always, saying shit to me, and we'd always laugh, and he was just so cool to be around. And I think he was just so knowledgeable with the game and everything that else. But I'm going to hand it over to you, because obviously that's your father, obviously your grandfather. God, rest in peace, please. But tell us a little bit about him, buddy.
Yeah, he loved to play. He softball meant everything to him. And when he played with an intensity, and he expected everyone to play like that. I remember when he caught for a team called Otto's back in the 80s, a lot of Hall of Fame players on that team. Mike Tello was the pitcher. And if there's any guys from that era listening, my dad used to fire the ball back as hard as he could at Tello on every pitch. And Mike used to just say, "What's this guy doing?" But that's how he was. And, my dad had the hard cut, hitting wise, and he just loved to play. And when guys didn't do the right thing or didn't hustle, and that it just bothered him, and that. So, that stuff kind of rubbed off on me and Randy and my other brother, my half brother, Marky, who plays a little bit. And I just try and pass that along to Ryan and William and Brendan when they play. Just play hard and play smart. And that's all I can tell you, because that's how Grandpa played and wanted us to play. So that's all I'll say.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't, I'm 27, so I wasn't able to be around him when he was really a coach. But I'm thankful that before he passed away, he was able to see, me play softball because he saw me play for Traffic for 1 year. And I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, one of the most intense, but also loving guys you'll ever meet. There's he just to show you what kind of person he was. I used to go over to his house, to mow his lawn, once every single month. I'm not even kidding you. He would grade my performance. I'd mow his lawn, and he would walk with me, make sure I went straight line. He'd be like, "Today you got an 82, or today you got an 88." I never got over like an 89. Weren't that straight. And then he'd go through and then he'd obviously pay a couple dollars after, and then he would go through his, wallet, go through the hundreds, stare right in my face and look at me and say, "What's so funny?" Then he'd go through the 50s. "What's so funny?" Go through the 20s. "What's so funny?" Look at me and I'm dying. And then he would go through give me, 2 10s or a 10 or whatever it was. But yeah, that's just what kind of person he was. But yeah, I love him to death. And rest in peace.
Yeah, no.
Still think about him.
Donnie, I know you unfortunately probably didn't have the pleasure of meeting that individual, but
never have. We hear some good stories on this show about some of the older softball personalities and stuff, and we love kind of bringing those guys back around when we talk about this, and that's a huge part as to why we do the show, right, Jim? I mean, it's giving the notoriety to the guys that deserve it. We've had all kinds of walks of life on the show, and you guys add to the list, so I appreciate that very much. And talking about the older guys and stuff, I have one more question for Bobby. You've seen a lot of softball players, and now currently too. Bobby, who's the best softball player you've ever watched?
Oh man, well, I can't name one. I mean, there's so many. I hitting wise, Johnny Kelleher. I mean, Johnny Kelleher was good for a long time. John, Ricky Gankars, my brother Randy. Guys today. Nate's been good for a long time. We got some dynamite players on our team. Older guys, Willie Simpson, Jake Jacoby. I got the pleasure to watch those guys play. I can't name one person because I've seen them play for 40 years, but there's a lot of good softball players. Yeah. There's softball players we don't even know about.
Right.
You could talk to your buddies, and half the guys that are watching this probably they have 5 guys that you never even heard of that were probably studs. They just, for whatever reason, didn't want to play major ball or whatever. And that everyone's got a couple of those guys, and they, for whatever reason, just didn't have the opportunity to play like we do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a great point because any given weekend, I feel any guy at the major level could be the best player that weekend.
And I'll tell you, the high Y guys in the BTA, these guys come to play every tournament. They don't miss. And I get on our team, and it happens, you see it more and more with other teams. So the BTA and the high Y and these guys, they don't miss and they're good. You got to beat these guys because they come to play and they play every weekend. I'll see them Melrose. I'll see them wherever there's a tournament. Those guys are playing. KJ and Little Dave and Wesley. Those guys are playing. Man Cut. Those guys practice. They're playing somewhere.
Right. No, 100%. So. I have 2 questions left. Donnie, do you want me to go ahead and ask, and then you got one left too?
I was just going to ask and kind of piggyback on that. I was going to ask Ryan who he thinks the best current softball player is.
Current softball player. Is
it William?
Oh, Williams. Yeah, he'll probably tell you. But no, I'm kidding. He won't tell you.
And
that.
drink your cooler while he's telling
you.
Oh
yeah. It's not normal when he doesn't have a beer in his hand. Yeah, something's wrong. But I would say I'm biased. I got to go with Danny Dispenza for our team. I would say Justin Smikowski's right up there. Obviously Nate, Michael Angi's up there. You know, Iggy, Pish. I could just keep naming guys, but those are like the top guys that I would say.
It's the reason I asked that. I kind of wanted to see. Yeah, no, I wanted to see the similarities.
Yeah, Spencer's tough.
Oh, Spencer. Yeah, obviously Spencer.
The Menizzi are tough. I mean, there's a lot of good guys.
There's a lot of good players.
Hex has guys that just hit the crap out of the ball every night.
I don't know if I've seen Wess making out ever in my life.
Yeah.
He just hits the crap out of the ball. But those are just players that just jump to my head.
Oh yeah.
The really quick, the reason I kind of asked that is I like that you both kind of gave a similar answer and that you said a bunch of people. Like there really isn't, you can't pinpoint somebody, right? It's the respect you guys carry for everybody. So I like that. I asked you that, and we kind of got, you gave us a laundry list of guys that you both respect equally. So I appreciate that.
So did you guys happen to bring a favorite jersey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not.
I didn't.
Oh.
What the hell? That's the one prerequisite.
Oh, that's no worries. We could just, because I figured you guys weren't going to bring one, and I figured.
Oh, this ought to be good.
This jersey here fits well. This jersey should be hanging in the rafters for the Russ family.
Oh boy.
It is a nice.
I figured you guys weren't going to bring it, so you guys set me up.
And I did forget to bring it.
I hit it right at the mark, so we're good.
Yeah.
My question, Bobby, for you before I get to my last question, and the last question's for both of you. Bobby, you played in the 80s, you played in the 90s, you played in, obviously, just call it the early 2020 or early, 2000s. You look at the game then and you look at the game now. I know that social media and the world's different. I understand that. But tell me the one thing that you think from then to now, what is the talent like in regards to, obviously there was more major teams back then, a lot more teams involved. But the major teams today compared to what they were back then, I mean, is there a complete huge drop off? And of course, you're not going to offend anyone by telling the truth. We want to know, what your thought process is on that.
I just think that the teams back then were a little more consistent. You're talking about the top teams, right? The top.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they there was a lot of consistency, doing the little things to win, moving runners. It wasn't about the 3-run homer all the time. I'm not, there's players now that do stuff that, guys in the 80s and 90s couldn't do. Some of these guys are unbelievable, the way they run and throw and stuff like that. I just think that the way the game was played was a little different, and the level of ball was at the major level was a little more. I don't know what the right word is. It was a little crisp and just it's a little slot. When you go out to a park now, sometimes you see a lot of mistakes, and the big teams shouldn't be making those mistakes. Not knowing where to throw the ball, missing a cutoff man by 20 feet, the ball rolls through the infield, and how many times does that cost you a game and stuff like that? It happened back then, but not like you see now. It's just crazy. Not tagging up. And just doing the little stuff leads to winning or losing.
Runs.
And yeah. It sounds like little stuff, but that's the stuff that wins games and that. But that's all.
I mean,
there's a lot of great players in today's game in that.
Yeah, but, it sounds like you're tapping on the commitment, right? I mean, it's like the commitment was truly rough to what it is today. I mean, that's
the big thing.
Things happen.
Yeah, that's let me ask you a question. And I said this today, a lot of the stuff with you guys. I know you're big on getting that tournaments done on Saturday and that. And I know fields and umpires have a lot to do with that. But what also has to do a lot with that I was part of that SSA for probably 5 or 6 years. So when you've been there, when you do the draw at McGaffers or wherever they do it, the first thing that happens to Anthony Tyler or Gio, 6 teams call and say, I can't play on Thursday night. I can't play Friday morning. What are you going to do? I remember when I was at a couple of the ASA draws in Marshalltown, Iowa, they did the luncheon at noon. You played at 6 o'clock. When they drew that board, there were guys flying down 80 to get here for a 6 o'clock game. And does Forest Park puts a draw out? I don't see no one asking them I can't play Thursday night at 7:15.
Yep.
I think that all has to do with some of the stuff that they're handcuffed with on why they can't finish tournaments. And I respect that you're trying to listen out for the younger players and try and get stuff done and change things a little bit. That's fantastic. I'm just saying, I think there's little things that happen that not everybody knows about that affects a lot of that stuff too. Let me ask you this. Does anyone miss a Papa Hops game at 4 o'clock?
Nope.
Not that time. Nope. I agree.
But when a tournament comes on Friday night, they got to work and stuff like that. You can start that Papa Hops at noon. Nobody ain't going to miss. Okay. And God bless them. That's a fun tournament. They have something going there. That's a lot of fun. I look forward to going out there and having our team play a game or two, and then just watching the championship. It's neat being around that many people.
Right. No. Yeah. No. I can't agree more. The thing for me with Papa Hops, I think they've done an incredible job of marketing the tournament.
Yeah.
They've done an incredible job of adapting to today's culture, right? And I think that is my point, is that when you look at professional sports and you look at a lot of the things that go on in life, the NFL has made changes. Major League Baseball has made changes. The NBA's made changes. They're adapting to the culture. The NBA put an in-season play-in tournament because they know their regular season games are worthless and no one watches them, okay? The MLB put a shot clock in because of the fact that the fans wanted to speed up the game because people get bored waiting 20 seconds, 30, 40 seconds between a pitch. The NFL created more of an offensive league, okay? It's all about the quarterback now. Think about it. I heard a stat today, and I'll just share this about the NFL. The last 39 playoff games, only 4 defensive coaches have won a game. Think about that. And you're talking about a league 10 years ago that was all about defense and running the ball. It's still part of the game now, but it's offensive. Everything's offensive now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a big believer in, we have to adapt the game. And to your point and some of the other guests' point, softball has been kind of going, you know what I mean? Now it's time to, shoot it up. I mean, when our boy from, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the Let Us Entertain You, Melman.
Rich Melman.
Yep.
When he started the pro league, right? I mean, think about it. It was awesome, right? It was something different for softball. How much did that promote the game?
Yeah.
Tremendously, right?
Yeah.
So that's my thought process, is why don't we adapt to the kids today, and maybe we'll get more commitment from the younger age. So
yeah. Hey, like I said, I commend you what you're doing. Hopefully you can get with the SSA and whoever. I don't know if you ran your ideas past the ASA or anything.
No.
Hopefully you guys can, pick up a couple things, maybe 1 or 2 ideas a year and just keep building and keeping the game strong and keeping it growing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it's about, right? It's about growing our game. Donnie's the same boat as me. He wants to grow our game. Donnie's young. Ryan, you're young. You guys, I mean, in 5 years for me, I won't be able to probably play like I do now. So my kids will be older.
Right.
I'll be in that stage where my kids will be playing travel ball and everything else. So to build something now and leave it off is something that I feel like is, after playing so long that I've played, the 20 years that I've played so far, you want to leave the game on a good note. And that's kind of how I feel, So, and when I see things that from a business mind that I see that doesn't make sense, it just drives me crazy. So
yeah, I hear you.
But Bobby, let's get to my final question. You and Ryan. That's kind of what you jumped the gun a little bit, but it's about the change in the game. If there's one thing that you guys would do differently to improve softball, what would it be? So Ryan, I'll start with you first.
Well, I don't know how. I mean, I'm gonna say what probably everyone else is saying. The commitment and everything like that. I don't know how it's gonna get better or what's gonna happen, but I will say I've been thinking about this for a little bit, and I'm sure a lot of younger people would say the same thing. I know just watching my dad and Randy play, for basically my whole life. I am dying. I don't know how to do it, but I'm dying to play at Grant Park. I just a 1-day tournament, even just a 1-day tournament would be so cool. I feel like the amount of people that it would draw, and like younger kids like me, you know, some of them, might not want to play, but I could guarantee you they'll show up to Grant Park. I guarantee you they'll want to play in the city. I don't know how their field system works. I'm just, thinking about just like even a 1-day tournament, just like a Saturday. It doesn't even have to be in the summer because I know there's a million tournaments in the summer. Could be in the fall or early spring. Just I feel like that could bring, that would be something, to I don't know who would think about it, but that would be cool. And I'm sure a lot of people would definitely show up to that tournament and would draw a lot of fans and, new fans, because people would just walk down the block and be like, hey, this is cool. And it'll be like, I've never seen this or heard of it. So that's just something that kind of popped in my head.
No, that's awesome. That's a great point, right? I mean, I got to play Grant Park, I think twice. Bobby, I'm sure you were a lot more than I was. So, but right over to you, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, great idea. Like something like that would be good. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do about the commitment level. Times have changed. When teams come to the field, when everyone goes to the bench, they all go run into their phones. They can't miss their phone for more than 2 minutes. They got to check their phone. I didn't have that back in the day, and that it's a whole different life, different way of doing things now, and I don't know. The commitment's the big thing. I don't know how you change that, Jimmy. Hopefully you're I don't know if it's all you or if you have a committee that you're working with. I know Sel liked a lot of your ideas in that. So hopefully you guys can figure out and, just keep plugging along and making it enjoyable and grow the game in that. I wish I had a better answer, but
right.
It's hard because it's a lot different now from when I grew up playing the game.
You're 100% right. So, I mean, that's all we could do. Keep pushing forward, keep trying to make things happen, and then we'll see how it goes. And we got to get the support of the players. I think that's the biggest piece. So, as long as we do that, we'll push in the right direction. So, that's all I have for you guys. But anything that you guys question-wise for Donnie and I?
I appreciate your time, Donnie and Jimmy. If there's if you want to get an old timer from the 70s and 80s, and I can help get one. You have a variety of guests on here. I'm sure there's a wide. Even if it's 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, and you need someone, and I can help get that guest for you. Let me know. There's a lot of people that I'm sure would love this stream of being part of the softball community that probably haven't been in it for a while. Let me know. I'd love to. You need
there's one guy that comes to mind that we'll talk offline about too, Bobby, but I'm going to mention him right now and we'll talk more offline. But Melman, when I talked to Melman to come on the show, I tried to get him on the show and he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
He brought up an individual who created the cut ball. And I would love to have him on the show because, predominantly a lot of guys in softball cut the ball now.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it'd be cool, right? So
yeah,
you probably know who that is.
Yeah, I'm sure I do. And that, so we'll talk off the air and we'll talk about that.
Perfect.
I love it.
Once again, Ryan, Bobby, thank you so much. It was awesome to have you guys on. Bobby, great history. Ryan, just you looking pretty. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having
I
us.
appreciate you guys for coming on. That was wonderful. Appreciate it.
Good
Thanks,
job.
guys. Bye.
So,
Ryan looking pretty.
so I see our boy Wes has jumped in the chat.
Yes,
Before
he's
we
here.
get to him,
Yes.
okay, what did you think of the Russ family? I know you know what I think about them.
Yeah, man. Isn't that good stuff? I mean, those are two people that literally live for 16-inch softball. Isn't that amazing? Like they've made that, their entire livelihood, right? It's And Ryan is kind of getting started in playing left field for arguably the best team in softball, and Bobby's been some of the best teams ever. So it's cool to be a part of the conversation with those guys, and they said a lot of really cool things about. I love the idea of playing at Grant Park. I think that'd be really cool.
Incredible. It would be awesome, right?
Yeah. Now what do you think?
To get to that point, I think it would be awesome. So that kind of leads us right into our boy Wess Shannon, right?
Yes,
he comes
sir.
from Washington Park. He is I believe he was the MVP of the 2022 National.
Yep.
He also won a Yuma championship with yours truly.
Sure.
First time I ever got to play with him. So awesome dude, right? So that leads us to our man, Mr. Wess Shannon. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, man.
You all right? You look like you're a little tired. I know you.
I am. I had to get up and come to the gym.
Oh yeah.
I'm sleep right now. Yeah.
I hear you. What'd you do? Hit about 100 balls a day? Huh?
No, I was just working with the kids and shit.
I hear you. So Wes, we know we only got you for like 15 or 20 minutes, but I want to hop right into it. I want you to tell people who Wess Shannon is, because I know who you are from a standpoint of a softball player, but as an individual, I would like to know more about who Wess Shannon really is. So give us a little background on yourself, my man.
Like in softball terms, or just like
where'd you grow up? Where'd you where'd you go to school? What did you do in school? Did you play baseball? Those type of things.
Yeah, I grew up on the South Side. I went to South Shore High School. I played baseball all 4 years. So then after I graduated, I started coaching the high school that I graduated from, South Shore, for about maybe 6 years, and then I moved to a high school called Hansberry College Prep, which I'm currently at now, and I've been a coach there for about 4 years. So yeah, okay. I'm really big on the coaching, stuff like that. I just like to get back,
So you're coaching baseball now?
Yeah, I've been coaching baseball. This is probably like my 9th year coaching baseball.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's something I did not know.
We see you a lot on Facebook, hitting balls off the tee, taking BP by yourself. Wes, what motivates you to do that stuff? Is it coaching and trying to show that stuff to your kids, or is that you legitimately still trying to get better, like as a player and as a hitter?
Yeah, pretty much, because I'm not trying to be like a great hitter. I just want to be consistent, basically. Mm-hmm. That's basically what it is. And it's some of it is like come to the high school to show them that you don't need nobody else to do this with you. You can do it on your own.
Right.
Yep.
Like, stuff me go.
Put the work in and good results will happen, right, Russ? So with your softball career, where did you start out? For many of the people that don't know, I have a good idea, and I think I know. But tell us a little bit about how you got into 16-inch softball and who was kind of the role model that brought you into the game.
Really, my dad, actually. So him and my mom was playing softball. Been playing softball for a long time. So I grew up watching them. They brought me out to the park, Washington Park. And how I started was I was playing like all the young people who y'all see now, like JB, KJ.
Yeah.
Basically, man, we was playing on the trees and stuff, Lil B, all of us. And so it was a team called the Showstoppers that was like, how old are you? I'm like 14 years old. Like, you want to come play? Imagine, this is like the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
Literally the worst thing. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I didn't care. I just wanted to get on the team. So I played with them. We was like maybe we had no. That team had no wins. I can tell you that.
Zero
I,
wins.
I was just it wasn't even about that. I was just so happy to play like in
Yeah.
the that's what was the big leagues to me when I was young. So because I don't think I ever went out to like the Mount Prospects and stuff like that. At least I don't remember. But yeah, that's how I started playing and stuff. So
You know, it's funny you say that. Kind of gives you the drive, right? I mean, gives you the drive to play today, to go out there, compete, obviously, and now you know, BTA was the first Washington Park team ever to win the Major National. So congratulations on that. You were the MVP of that tournament. Had a tremendous weekend. Uh, we all know that you're a tremendous hitter, so I'm not going to ask you about your hitting skills unless you'd like to speak on them. But tell us a little bit uh, about how you built BTA. Tell us about how that team came to fruition over the last couple of years, because I believe before that you were on Gladiators. I think you were on some other
yeah,
teams.
Solution. Yeah, I played the hood, played a couple Rack City.
Rack City, that's the one I was missing.
I actually, a lot of people don't remember that. I actually played with Steel Gold.
Steel Gold, okay. I remember Steel Gold. They were very tough.
Yeah, but yeah, BTA we started in 20.
21, right?
No. We started in like 20. I think it was 2015.
2015, okay.
That was the first time we assembled the team.
Right.
So it was the coach, the CEO, Elbow.
Okay.
That's who started the team, and then he just like wanted to build around me and Lil B and man. So yeah, that's basically we just started like going to get players and stuff. The
Start the recruiting process.
yeah, starting the recruiting process. I think Chris Rogers was on that team. Who else? It's basically some of the guys that's on it now. It was on it back then in 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, your third baseman's a stud. I know that. He's an absolute stud.
Oh, you talking about Lou?
Yeah. He hits the shit out of the ball. I'll give him a lot of credit there. But yeah, no, that's cool. And you got to do it. I think you got to do it with a lot of your buddies, right? A lot of your guys' friends. You guys all grew up together. That's pretty cool accomplishment. That's how it was for me with, not necessarily growing up, but with the OBI team that we won Forest Park with. It was a lot of us close friends that did it together, which I think it made it that much more. And it's kind of saying what you're saying about BTA when you won the Major National. It's like it meant that much more for you guys, which is, I think, incredible. So
here's a quick story I have, Jimmy, regarding Wess Shannon. Now, Wes doesn't probably remember this, but I played on the same team as Wes when I was, terrible at softball. Okay, we played on a team called Pressure in the Dome, and it was run by Nigel, who plays for Pharaohs. There's the famous vape that people talk about in the comments. Nigel ran the team in the Dome. We had Woo, and I remember Wes pitched for us one night, and the other team was getting a little chatty with Wes, and Wes doesn't take well to that, right? Wes, you could probably agree with that, right?
Sometimes.
And Wes, by himself, walked right over onto the other team's bench by himself and was ready to go toe-to-toe with everybody on that team. And I was like, this was like the third softball game I ever played in my life.
right.
And I was like, this is I don't know if I want to do this anymore. So I was nervous to play after that. But Wes, it was cool being out there with you. And you probably don't even remember that night or at all playing in the Dome, but that Pressure team, I don't think we won a game for the first 10 games, and then and then you stopped showing up, and then we lost even more. So it was
My fault.
yeah, it was definitely your fault. But Wes, my question, you've kind of developed a brand yourself in softball with the gloves and the hats and everything like that. And Wes, you have a following. You do. You have people that watch you play. They want to watch you hit. What does that brand mean to you? Where do the gloves come from? Where does that swagger, that style come from?
Well, the gloves actually come from 12 inch. So
okay,
it basically like give me more grip on the bottom of the bat.
Okay.
Because I hold it like these two fingers off the bat. So, and when I wag the bat like that, give me more whip. Basically, the bucket hat has always been a bucket hat guy.
Yeah.
I just like being different, man.
Yeah, for sure. I like that about you. Well, Jimmy, this might be a perfect opportunity for you to play what you have presented for Wes.
Yeah, yes, I was going to get to that point. So, and before we get there, you know, I had Wes and I got to go to Yuma together 2 years ago. We won the Yuma tournament, which was the 50th annual, I don't know what they call it. I guess Yuma Memorial Tournament, which was awesome, incredible. Wes will tell you the amount of people that were there was awesome. We had a fun weekend. We battled through. We won some games we probably shouldn't have won, which was awesome. Even made it more awesome. The way we won the tournament at the end was incredible. But
you ain't tell them about you putting my gloves on, did you?
Well, and that leads me right to this, Wes. So last year, unfortunately, you were unable to go. And I wanted to share this with you because in memory of your man here, okay, you made it to Yuma last year. And I am going to go ahead and share this.
Got Uncle Jim putting the West gloves on. Uncle Jim putting the West gloves on.
Come on, Wes. No one better, Wes. Give me that hit, Wes.
Hey, he just needs the vape pen.
And the dredge.
And the nose ring.
Come on, Jim.
Oh! Oh! Oh, he did the hop! He did the hop!
I like that.
So your man made it happen, right? Little Dave was the camera guy, as you saw. He made it happen. It was pretty fun, and I know the first year, to Donnie, to your point, I had his gloves in my thing because the whole team was, come on, you got to put Wes's gloves on. You got to go up there and hit with like Wes. So the first year, we got to the point I had him on deck, and I think Anthony made the last out of the inning in like a Saturday game, and I came off the field. He goes, "You had my gloves." He was not happy about it. I'll say that. But as time got on, he understood the joke and he appreciated it. He went and bought new gloves. He got in the car, went to Menards, bought new gloves. But the second year it was fun because unfortunately he couldn't make it the second year. But you know, he was there in spirit, my man. You were there in spirit, Wes. So I know little Dave had a lot of fun with that, and it was awesome. So. But what'd you think of that video, Wes?
Yeah, you got the hit. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I knew that's what you were gonna say. I knew it. That's awesome. So, but go ahead, Donnie. I know you got more questions for our guy.
I only have one more. I mean, you know, I play Wes quite a bit, and last year we played him, and you know, we played you tough a couple times. And what do you look forward to? I know you play a lot of softball. You're playing 12-inch still, correct, and playing at Washington Park, playing with BTA, playing co-ed. I see you playing co-ed all the time. What do you look forward to this year, upcoming for yourself? And so, you've won major nationals. What's next for you?
Well, I think the only thing I probably Noble national.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been playing for so long, man. I'm tired of trying, man. It's hard. It's hard, man. For real. But that's really like the main focus right now is Noble Nationals.
Did BTA make any moves this offseason to get better? I haven't seen or heard a whole lot from those guys.
Not really.
Okay.
No
Your
comment.
team's already good.
Yeah. No, I don't. No, we really didn't make no moves.
Okay.
At least that I know of.
Yeah. So you guys are planning on playing in the Forest Park League, correct? And you're going to play in Washington Park on, I believe, was that the triple header Sundays they call it, correct?
And 3 games on Sundays, yeah.
So with Washington Park, I know because it's just unfortunately a lot of the guys who don't play in Washington Park don't really understand the atmosphere and what that is, for Sunday softball. Kind of fits into what I'm trying to preach for finishing major tournaments on Saturday. But also, just for you, what does Washington Park mean to you and your community? Because I hear nothing but good things, how it's a family atmosphere, how you guys are out there grilling, you're playing triple headers, you're doing a lot of stuff uh, as a group. And I think that's just awesome to hear in softball. And it's awesome for, some of those lower level teams to watch you guys like High Y and BTA and, some of those upper echelon teams. I know Solutions had great teams for years, Steel Gold, as you mentioned, be athletes over the years. What does that mean to a lot of those lower level teams to watch you guys play every Sunday?
Well, most teams really don't get to watch.
Okay.
Because everybody play at the same time.
Okay.
Everybody started. We got about like 15 diamonds.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All of the teams play around the same time, 12.
Right.
12:30, yeah. But it's basically our park is like a safe haven, man. Everybody come kick it. A little bit of drama, but not all the time.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But it's basically a safe haven for everybody and stuff. Come get stuff off your mind, play softball.
And how many teams are in the league? Who runs the league? I mean, you know any other details about the league that we could share with a lot of their guests? Because we do have quite a bit of individuals who watch the show that might not know about Washington Park, or just maybe are not familiar with 16 in softball and how it's laid out. So, what would you tell those folks watching right now about Washington Park? What is something that stands out the most to you personally?
It's just the atmosphere. It's fun. It's fun. I know a lot of people don't like playing with the gloves, but
yeah,
it's just come out and have fun. That's basically what we be doing. What we try to do. Everybody think because it's black teams in there that drama, all type of drama. It don't need it at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but just come out and play. Get on the team, jump on the team, bring your own team.
Right. What time do those games normally start on Sunday?
12:30. 12:15. Yeah, 12:30.
And it's just triple header, one after another, right?
Yeah, 3 games. It'd be like 12:30, maybe 1:15, 2:45, like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But when we be behind, we have to play. What's up, man? We have to play about 4 games. Yeah, we played for a couple years. We didn't play 4 games before at the end of the season.
Man. That's a busy day.
Man. It's fun.
We have a cool comment from Danny Jackson, 12-inch. We needed Wess in a game. He didn't have his glove, and the man was playing with my right-hand glove and making plays. Do you recall this game?
I do. I left my glove in the car. No, I actually left it at home. And so my boy Danny, he like, hey, you want to use my glove? Mind you, lefty, he's a righty. So I'm like, all right, I done this before in baseball. So I just switched the glove I switched his glove and put it on my right hand. And I was playing the outfield with that glove. A right-handed glove on my right hand.
Making plays.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. So, what do you think about BTA? Who is right now your top? A rival for you guys, but like when you play in the majors board, like what is the one team that you guys feel either that you own or a team that kind of gives you fits a little bit?
Wait, can you say that again? I ain't hear the end.
So I know that you guys play High Y a lot, so I'm not going to ask questions about High Y, but what is the team at the major level that either you guys feel like you kind of have their number or they give you fits a little bit?
Of course, the 45s.
Yeah.
Of course, they beat us. I think they got 2 up on us last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was back and forth with them last year though. So,
Right.
Yeah. This is my it's my last question for Wes, man, and we appreciate you coming on the show. I know Jimmy might have one more thing. Last year, Westchester Tournament of Champions, you guys played High Y late. I think it was Friday night. It was late. It was extra innings. I think you guys were down 7 or 8 runs in the 7th, right? And then you guys came back and tied that game. And there were people climbing all over the fences and the backstop, and it was like a party. Man, it was one of the most exciting softball games I ever watched. And then you guys obviously had a great season the year before. Man, those two teams are fun to watch, especially when you guys play each other. But you guys play each other all the time.
Yeah.
What's your respect level for that High Y team? I know Trav was in the comments asking when Wes is going to come on. I also want to talk about that game a little bit, but what's the respect level for those High Y guys?
Well, me personally, I always respect.
For sure.
Sometimes, a lot of people say they not your friends on the field, but off the field. Me, I'm friends on the field and off the field. I don't want no bad blood with nobody, man. That's just much respect to all the High Y guys, especially Trav.
Yep. For that game, what's going on in that? What was that, like the 6th or 7th inning, down by a bunch of runs? What did you guys do? What did we talk about? That game was incredible.
It's some other stuff had happened, man, and I really don't want to talk about this game. Yeah, some stuff just happened, and then I don't know. It's just, I guess it lit a fire in us, and we came back and won.
Yeah, that was crazy. Jimmy, that's it for me, man.
Yeah, for sure. I have, Wes, 2 questions for you. The first question is, as you're one of the best hitters currently, if not the best hitter today in 16 in softball, on any given weekend, what do you have to say for some of those guys that are, maybe starting out on the B or A team, maybe out of Washington Park, or just in softball in general, right? I mean, it could be in any team in softball. What is a piece of advice that you would give a young 18 to 21-year-old kid today about the game of 16 in softball?
I say put the work in, man. Put the work in.
Yeah.
That's basically what I be telling most of them that I be talking to. If you want to make it to the big level, put the work in to show that you want to be up there.
Right.
That's about it.
No, yeah. Good point. So my last question, and this is something that I know we ask every guest on the show. So I want you just to tell me what's the first thing that comes to your mind is 16 in softball, the way it sits today. Obviously we got changes going on every professional sport across America, football, baseball, soccer, everything that you think of. If you were to change one thing today in 16 in softball or bring something new into the game to make the game better, what would it be?
Well, see, I really don't like the B tournaments and the A tournaments type stuff that we major players can't play in.
Yep.
I would, cause back then they had like you can have like one major player, stuff like that. Then they had it, right? In like the A tournaments or something like that.
Yeah, back in the day when it was like non-roster events and stuff, 100%. One player digs another. They used to have it way back in the day. Now, I mean, for the last 15, 20 years, I think they just make it strictly SSA or ASA rosters. Well, depending on what organization you're speaking to.
Right. That's one thing I want them to bring back. I mean, because I like to play softball. I really don't like watching something I can't play. Yeah.
I get it. How many times you throw on a live stream though and watch? Never?
I'll probably watch maybe about. Wait, say that again. You said how many times do I watch it?
When you're not playing, how often do you throw on a live stream from home under one of your 7 different Facebook accounts that you have?
It's rare.
Yeah.
But we know you go back and rewatch your own hits, and then you post those on social media.
I'm gonna start posting my outs too, because I'll be making a lot of.
Remember, we talked about that yesterday. It's all about confidence, my man. You'll be fine.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna probably go out tomorrow and take them swings that we was talking about. Probably get about maybe 250 in.
There you go.
I've been stinking in 12 inch lately, man. I actually stopped. I was in a overnight tournament in Aurora, man, and I was like 0 for 8, bro. 2 games. I told him to take me out, and I left and went home. That's how down bad I was.
It happens to everyone, man. Trust me, it happens to everyone.
I was just really struggling, and I think like in 12 inch me, like I should not be struggling in this ball.
Yeah.
I want to.
Well, I mean, here's the best thing. We could just have Donnie pitch to you. You'll get right out of that slump.
No.
Right, Donnie?
I don't know about that.
Donnie got me out a couple times.
Thank you. Thank you, Wes. As hard as it is, actually, I don't think I get you out that often. No, I think you're just being nice.
Got me out a couple times.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. See, Jimmy? Shut up.
He sticks up for you, my man.
He does.
I love it.
He does.
I love it. So that's a good thing, you know. So hey,
Yeah.
Wes, you know, we went through the arsenal of questions. Any questions you have for Donnie and I? Anything you want to talk about? What's on your mind? Now's your time, man. Ask away.
Not really. Who y'all playing with this year?
Donnie?
Signature.
Yeah.
Yes,
What
sir.
made you do that?
Big jump. It's a big jump. I like the guys over there. Offered me a spot to pitch a whole lot, and I love it. I love the idea. Going over there, playing with a lot of my close friends, and it's a damn good team. So I feel like I'm ready to make that jump.
Yep. And I'll be with Hex again too. Do you know that, Wes?
Yeah. I'm thinking I might come to Yuma with y'all this year.
Oh, there you go.
I flaked on y'all last year.
Yeah, that's fine. We're going to 3-peat this year, my man.
Yeah. Probably come.
So
strong probably.
All right. Reach out to Nate and Richie. You know who runs it. And
well, man, Wes, what a pleasure, man. Thank you for being on the show and joining us. It was a good time.
I appreciate y'all for letting me on, man.
Hey, man, anytime, Wes, you let us know.
It's the first and last time I'm not doing it again.
All right, buddy. Hey, that's okay. The next time you'll be on is when maybe I'll have video too of me, being Wes Shannon for a moment in the batter's box. All right, my man.
All right,
see you, man. Pleasure. Thank you so much, Wes.
See you later, my man.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
He's so chill. It makes me laugh,
He said it's the first and last time he's going to be on the show.
At least he's honest.
I got to give him a ton of credit. During the Russ family interview, he texted us and said, "I'm real tired from work. I might only be on for 15 or 20 minutes. I'll give you my best." He was on for longer than that without even him recognizing it. Yeah. And he talked more than I've ever talked to in my life.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes it's like you lose track of time, And I think he to that point was awesome. I think he said a lot of cool stuff. I like to hear more about Washington Park. It's just something that, we need to promote them more a little bit about, what goes on out there. He didn't want to speak too much to it, but he said enough. They play with gloves. They start at 12:30. I wanted to hear him talk about how some of those younger teams out there look up to those guys. Just hear about that stuff because that's what grows our game. I mean, that's what brings more and more teams to the major level and to the Forest Park and to, Melrose and Westchester and the list goes on and on. So,
fun fact. I actually played at Washington Park myself.
Really?
I played with Line Drive. We played a triple header on a Sunday. It was a blast. I mean, everyone out there, Wes said it best. It's a safe haven because, probably not the best neighborhood to kind of throw a big softball park in the middle of. And once you make it in the parking lot, it's completely safe. Yeah. Everyone there is strictly there for softball. And I mean, they're doing parties in the in the parking lot. Like Pop said it, they got great food. It's a good time out there. And I only been out there once or twice. I think maybe 3 times at most. But I would have liked to hear someone else talk about how important that place is to them too.
Well, yeah, I mean, and let's face it, a lot of those kids probably come out of that league, right? Now they're playing baseball. I mean, high Y, like he touched a little bit on it, like Trav and some of those guys, they were kids watching their fathers play the game, So I just think it's cool to hear that, right? I mean, guys like we saw tonight with Ryan Russ, who watched his dad played his whole life. He's playing. Same thing with Wess Shannon, watching his dad. Now he's playing. Like that matters, And
right.
And for this game to grow, we need the younger kids to pick up on 16 in softball. So, my kids watching softball, hopefully when they're older, they'll play softball, right? There's a lot of cool stuff that I think that can happen with the growth of the game. Maybe getting out there in those, maybe those some of those communities to support 16 in softball, doing things like that rather than just having charity tournaments and other stuff. There's other ways to impact the game for the future, and that stuff matters. And if you start I know we talked about fundraising for some of the West Coast teams and things like that. Unfortunately, Faux Show is not going to be able to make it this year. I haven't talked to the Psychopaths, but Faux Show for sure next year in 2025. They said they're going to make the trip. So that would be awesome from San Diego, but getting to the point of, getting into those communities now, promoting the game for the future with the fundraising. So that's
right.
Exactly what we want to do. And that's exactly what we're looking for. So,
yep. I agree, man. I mean, a couple really good guests tonight, just softball junkies and, answered every question we threw at them with flying colors. And
right.
It's nice to have, a couple different personalities, right? You've got the old school Bobby Russ, and then you've got new school. Like you said, he likes to be different with the Flash and Wess Shannon, and Ryan's about as mellow as it gets, and literally the complete middle ground between the two.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, it's awesome to see. And I think that, obviously predominantly most of our viewers are 16-inch viewers. So it's obviously, we talk about more about 16-inch than the other sports, but, I mean, to see a lot of the players hop on tonight, a lot of the people jumping in and out of the chats, I think it's pretty incredible. And that's really what I want to lead to, because I know we've got a lot of people lighting up the chats before we take off. We got about 5 minutes here before I say we want to end the show. So I want to get on there and obviously say, Austin, Jerry Brown, welcome guys to the show. Jeff Hernandez, James Barron, Stephen John, just hop back on. Plenty more names. I know we got Pops, Danny Jackson. They've been lighting up the chats. We've been saying some of the stuff and questions from them. So, of course, we always appreciate the support. Obviously, our show, Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie's show, is sponsored by the Beacon Tap and Displays. So we always want to throw our props out to them. I know we've also had more individuals reach out to us for sponsorships, and we definitely will appreciate that come summertime. So, we're looking to do bigger and better things, as you're aware. I don't know how many games we'll stream. We'd like to get you behind the camera, Donnie. I think, it's something that the softball world wants to hear. We don't want to, necessarily put you behind the camera every damn night, but at the same time, like, we want you to get out there and do stuff. I mean, hopefully you'll be working for Forest Park. Maybe you could use our stream or however you want to do it when you do some Forest Park games, maybe on Field 2 or, some other opportunities out there throughout the course of the summer. We're talking about sideline interviews. We want to do
mic'd up. We want to get you mic'd up when you're on the mound.
Mic'd up when I'm on the mound. I'm the sideline reporter. I can look very, very good, spike my hair, and so on. So, just cool things that I think that people really will like in softball. We want to make it fun. We don't want to necessarily get involved too much in regards to, joining the middle of the game when it's a heated contest, but at the same time, being able to pull a coach or a player aside who's on the bench and ask them about, key moments in the game. I think it's just something different that no one's ever done. So what's your thought process on this upcoming summer and what where you think softball is going to be.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I definitely want to use our social media platforms as best as we can. Right, we're talking about TikTok, and now that you're dancing, we have the following. You know, it'll be fun to get back out in the field and do some more streams. You know, when we're out at tournaments, because you and I are going to be at the same events pretty much all year, and then I will be doing some Forest Park games again, so that's going to be great. And then using our equipment wisely, right? Getting you down on the sideline. Man, I can't wait for this year. I think it's going to be so fun. I mean, you know, with the following that we've kind of accumulated and more people that watch it and look forward to our show, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool. Like I'll get texts like, oh, who's coming on this week? Who are the guests? And then you make the post and, you know, we share the post and it's like, oh, these are good guests. Like these are awesome guests and we can't wait to watch. So, you know, in the softball world, it's a very small community in the grand scheme of things, right? So to have people that appreciate and watch the show means everything to us. So,
and I think, you know, to your point, it's a small community, and I think we're doing we're trying to branch it out, right? I think we're trying to get it out to really kind of merge the 12-inch and 16-inch platforms. So that way we know what's going on in the 12-inch world and they know what's going on in the 16 world and vice versa. I mean, I think if we got a 16-inch players together and went and played a weekend of 12-inch, I don't think it'd be the end of the world for us.
Be a fun time.
And if we want them to come play our game, you know, we might have to show the support back. So, you know, in my eyes, I think it's a win-win. And then, you know, I don't want to forget about the women, right? The women sport is continuing to grow. You know, if we can get more of those college softball players playing the women's game just locally, I think they'll create a ton more teams, right? So
it makes the game more competitive too.
Yeah, right, exactly. So you know, I know we've had a women's, and that kind of leads me into what I wanted to bring up to you is that, you know, Katie Mack, who runs the Why Me tournament, I've reached out to her. She's going to be joining our show here in the upcoming weeks. I want to hear about the Why Me, and that's the tournament for the women. They get 60 plus teams on a given Saturday. It's unfortunate they run it the same Saturday that I run Dana Strong on the men's side.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to talk to her. I would love to merge the two and make it one. I mean, she does a tremendous job, you know, but it'd be very tough to do because of the fact of the way we run ours and what she does for hers. So I understand the conflict. I get it. But I would love to have everyone at one park to end that, you know, and I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, trying to bring two huge tournaments together. I mean, that's tough, you know, with the fields and all the players and things like that. But Jimmy, you don't do anything small, right? When you're doing something, you go big. I like that advice.
Well, I mean, you know, I always was taught, like growing up as a kid, you know, if you never swing big or try to swing big, you know, you miss every swing you don't take, right? So that's swing big or go home, right? I mean, that's the kind of thought process I have. You know, you always figure it out, but you kind of miss every swing you don't take, and you know, and why not, right? So we can do it. You know, I mean, you look at Melman, what he did with the TV league. It's not like he had, you know, he had the support. He had the sponsors. He had a lot of stuff, but there's no reason why we can't, you know, I mean, we've been going at this for 4 months only, Donnie, you know?
I know.
So it's crazy when you really think about it, you know, 4 months. Yeah, we kind of start up. I'm talking like this platform on every Tuesday night. You know, we're on episode 34. Like it's, you know, we've been going realistically, you know, and I counted the episodes that we went live at a bar when it wasn't really you and I. I counted all those in there. But you and I have been doing this, you know, for about 4 months, which is crazy. 4 or 5 months to think, you know.
It's cool.
So I see big things, and I see hopefully the players continue to support. You know, get on our Facebook page for those people watching. Click on the little 3 dots and invite all your friends to our page. That's the way we grow our game. You know, we're going to go back to our business segment. I'm going to have a business owner on next week, you know, talk about how he wants to support 16 in softball. That's something that, you know, we want to do, right? That's how we promote our game. That's how we bring more people involved. I'm going to have him, and I'm sure will join, which will be incredible.
Great.
And, he's an upper echelon individual. He's a CEO of a company. I think that, it's just awesome for him to hopefully want to join our show. And I don't want to ruin it, but hopefully he says yes and he gets back to me before Friday and lets me know, and we'll promote that. So that'll be awesome. Anything, for next week, guest wise, in the softball world. I know we usually talk about this offline, but
I've got an idea. I've got a couple ideas I want to share with you.
Perfect.
So I like to leave it on a cliffhanger. You can't give them all the eggs, right? You got to keep a couple eggs in your basket. So
that's why I said what I said.
Yeah, and didn't say what you didn't say. Yeah, so make sure you guys are liking and sharing our page. Always Uncle Jimmy, Cousin Donnie Show. We're live on Twitch right now. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
Yep.
So wherever you need to watch us, you guys can watch us. I know we've had a pretty nice following tonight, throughout the night. We got up close to 70, 75 people when we had the Russ family on there, and people continue to watch and support. So we appreciate you guys a lot.
Yep, absolutely, man. So Donnie, once again, it was a pleasure. We will chat offline, and we will start prepping for next week's show. So thank you guys.
Yes, sir.
Episode 34
Later.
comes to a closing, and thank you, Beacon Tap, for the sponsorship. So thank you so much.